Dear students of ICC 2022, I am Deobroto Dotto, a school teacher and having experience of more than 25 years in school teaching. In this video, I will give you solution of computer application specimen question paper provided by ICC, and in the upcoming videos I will discuss about computer solved MCQ question bank of semester 1 made by my students under my guidance in unit wise. I hope it will be helpful to you to acquire good marks in semester 1, which is supposed to be held in November 2021. The students who helped me are as follows: Shushnoto Pal, Shagnik Mujumdar, Spondita Mondol, Shubhrobroto Dotto, Oritro Majhi, and Anirban Roy Chaudhary. I hope you all will appreciate my upload by subscribing, giving like and comments. Please share my upload so that it may be helpful for the other students whom you know. I wish you all the best for the upcoming examination. I hope my current video as well as the upcoming videos will be helpful for everybody.
Now I start with ICC semester 1 examination specimen question paper, computer application. Maximum marks is 50, time allowed is 1 hour including reading time, and all the questions are compulsory, and it is telling that after each question you will get the marks in this type of bracket. The question paper is divided into two parts, section A and section B. First I will discuss the section A. Section A consists of 30 questions, so each of 1 mark, that is 30 marks. Question number 1, it is of 5 questions, each of 1 mark. The first question, if you see, it has given the question which of the following are valid statement, as number 1 is correct, number 2 is incorrect, number 3 is correct, and number 4 is incorrect. So option 1 is the correct one. If I come to B question, according to the question it is asking to order the operator from higher to lower, and if you see I have marked it so that you can check it which one is the correct one. Now when I come to the next question, it is telling which of the following keyword is used to create an instance of a class. So number 1 is the correct one. Next question, which of the final value stored in variable x? What is the final value stored in variable x? So as it is given minus 8.35, as per floor it will give you minus 9.0, and due to the ABS it will convert it from negative to positive. So this number 1 is correct. Next question, name the type of error in the statement given below. What it is doing, it has given int r is equal to 100 divided by 0. So 100 divided by 0 is not a syntax error, it is basically runtime error and not at all a logical error, and number 4 is also not correct. So number 2 is correct. Question number 2, it is giving you fill in the blanks. The dash allows a class to use the property and methods of another class. So it is basically number 1, that is inheritance. B question, what it is telling, the number of bytes occupied by a char data type is, basically it is 2. So option number 3 is the correct one. Next, C, the dash is called an instance of a class, and the answer is number 1, that is an object is called an instance of a class. Next question, the dash are the word which have special meaning. Keyword is the word which have a special meaning, so number 1 is correct. Next, method that accept a string without any space is number 1, next function, because next line includes a space in between, and number 3 is for integer, and none of the f is not at all a correct one. Question number 3, what it is telling, you have to name the following: the wrapper class which the method parseInt belongs to, it is basically of the integer type. An integer is written in two ways, one in small and another in capital, and we know that for wrapper class the first alphabet should be capital, so number 3 is correct. Next one is, it is asking intermediate code obtained for compilation, so obviously number 2 is the correct one, that is the bytecode. Next question, C question, the method which with the same name as of a class and which does not have a return type is called a constructor, because function have a return type as well as method also have a return type. So constructor is only the thing which don't have a return type. D question, what it is telling, the statement to stop execution of a constructor. So to stop any execution of a construct is basically not the number 1, number 2 is the correct one, and stop is not at all a Java statement. Next question, invoking a function by passing the object of a class is termed as, it is not at all call by reference, it should be number 2, that is call by reference, and number 3, call by method, is not at all in Java. Question number 4, it is talking about true false. Byte is a non-primitive data type, byte is a primitive data type, so thus it is false. Now next question, what it is telling, 2 greater than 3, 2 is not greater than 3, it is false, and it is giving AND 4 greater than 6, again it is false, but it has given an exclamation mark, that means opposite to what. So as the within the bracket what is has been given is false and opposite to false is true, so number 1 is correct. Next, the scope of the local variable is within a class, so it is basically false. Next question is, the default statement is optional in switch case, so it is true. Number E, the assignment operator equal to is left associative, so it is false. Now question number 5, it is asking you to choose the odd one. Encapsulation number 1, data abstraction and polymorphism all comes under same group, only portable is not within the same group, so that is the correct answer. B, greater than, double equal to, and less than, this greater than, double equal to and less than is basically comes under one group, only this and is different, so that is should be the correct one. Next is return, break, continue, all comes under same group, but only this does not comes under that particular group, so this should be the correct answer. D, int, double, char, all comes under primitive, only this string is different, so thus this should be the correct one. Plus, modulation and divide comes under same, only this or is different, so it should be the correct answer. Question number 6, it is asking to give you the output. Now for this sort of question, what you should have to do is, you have to solve it in a rough paper and you have to get the answer. So after solving this thing in rough paper, the answer that I got is number 1, that is 29. Next, B question, what it is telling, if A is greater than B, then it has given you 2 lines as a statement. So when A is 5 and B is 7, that means 5 greater than 7, so it is not at all a true part, so it will come to this particular part and it will do multiplication of A and B, that is 5 into 7, so thus the resultant is 35, so option 2 is the correct answer. Next question, when A is 90, so it has given you a ternary Now when you substitute this a with 90, so what it is happening, 90 greater than equal to 90, so as it satisfies the equal to part, so it will execute this true part, that is excellent. So number 2 is the correct answer. Now it has given you a switch case when x is equal to capital A, so it will not satisfy this case, this one, it will not satisfy this one, it will not satisfy this one, so thus it will come to default. So the answer should be success. So number 3 is the correct answer. Next, see, it is giving you n equal to 1000. Now what you have to do is you have to execute this thing by using a dry run. So when I have done the dry run in a paper, I found that option number 3, that is loop execute 2 times and the output is 10, is the correct answer. Now as I said you that question paper is divided into 2 sections. The second section is section B and it consists of 20 questions, each of 1 mark, that is 20 marks. So what you have to do is, in question number 7 it has given you one question and some fill in the blanks it has been given to you. It is my advice that go through the question very properly and write down the answer in the fill in the blanks part. After writing the answer in this fill in the blanks part, then come to the option and choose the option. So I have done the same thing. I have done the working on a paper and I have filled up the fill in the blanks as what should be the correct one, and after that when I have come to the option, I found that A fill in the blanks number 2 is correct, B fill in the blanks number 1 is correct, C fill in the blanks number 1 is correct, D fill in the blanks number 3 is correct, E fill in the blanks number 1 is correct, and for F fill in the blanks number 1 is correct. Again I say, when you come to section B, write down the total thing on a paper and solve it by putting the answer in the fill in the blanks, then only you come to the actual answer part and it will be easier for you to get the correct answer. Now question number 8 also same thing. It has given you a question with some conditions. Same thing you should do is write down the total thing on a paper and put down the relevant answer in the fill in the blanks, then only come to the answer. I have done the same, and what I found is question number A 1 is the correct one, question B 2 is the correct one, question C 3 is the correct one, question D number 2 is the correct one, and question E number 1 is the correct one, and at last question number F 2 is the correct one. For question number 9, again fill in the blanks have come. I am not repeating what I said for question number 7 and 8. You should follow the same process for question 9 also. And what I found after my working on a paper, that A number 1 is correct, for B number 1 is correct, for C number 1 is correct, and for D number 1 is correct. So it is very strange that one question have come where all the first options are correct. The last question for this sample paper, it has given one case study. You have to go through the case study and if possible just remember the important fact. For example, 2 decision statement. Next, loop, it has given nested loop, one another important term it has given, and next part you can see loop it has given, exit control loop it has given, entry control loop it has given, which are very important part while you have gone through Java. And after the conclusion, what I have found, question number 1 A rather, option 1 is correct because it is asking for 2 decision control statement, and 2 decision control statement in Java is if and switch case. Next question, what it is asking, that an if statement within another if statement is termed as. When we have gone through this particular chapter, we have found that it is called nested if, that is, so number 3 is correct. Next, what it is telling, name given for repetitive execution of statement, set of statement. So when you want to repeat any set of statement, so obviously it should be number 1, that is looping. And number D, what it is giving, what the question asking is, which one of the following does not execute even one time. So you can do a dry run for this. When k is 1, so 1 less than equal to 100 is true, so it is executing at least. You substitute this 10 in this condition k, so 10 less than 1, so 10 is obviously less than 1, 10 sorry k is 10, so 10 is not at all less than 1, so it is false. So consider this to be one of the answer, but we should come and check the third one also, that is k is 1, it is checking whether 1 greater than equal to 1, so it is equal to 1, so it execute one time. So what it is found, that question number 1 have execute at least one time, will execute at least one time, and after that also it is found that it will execute. And question number 3, answer number 3, it is also executing one time, after that it is not executing, but number 2 is not at all executing. So thus we can conclude that this one is the correct one. So that's end of this particular solution of this specimen paper. In my next video I will discuss about question bank, all the 4 modules that it has been specified in semesters 1. Thank you. I hope that after going through this particular video, it will be helpful for you to know the solution of the specimen